What is going on, guys? Back at it again with another one, and you know what day it is? Monday night movie review. So, let's go. Alright, back at it again. It's your boy Cone. Hey, so what do we got today for Monday night movie review? We're gonna do a little throwback. Not that old of a throwback, but it's about 6-year throwback. 2015, I think this came out. I had never heard of it. Okay, so movie up there on the big screen called Hidden. Kind of hard to see, but if you have not seen this movie, do yourself a favor. Go jump on it. You can rent it off Prime for $2.99. We rented it last night. Great movie. Great movie. So, as always, spoiler review. So if you have not seen it, go ahead, pause this, go watch that movie, come back, and let's do that review. If you've seen it, let's go. So, how does this movie start off? Well, it don't tell you what's going on. It just starts off with a mom, a dad, and a daughter hiding in this bunker. Okay, the daughter's crying, and then the mom lights a lighter and lights a lantern, and then it kicks off from there. Why are they hiding? We have no idea. And here's the whole thing about like horror movies and stuff. A lot of horror movies nowadays are kind of stupid, especially when they show you that the creature or whatever the hell it is, alien or ghost, whatever. A lot of the movies, like, you see it and you're like, okay, this movie just got fucking retarded. This movie, not like that. Okay, great movie. And this movie is very, very suspenseful. It keeps you wondering throughout the whole movie. Now, a great thing they did on this movie is they keep throwing little bits and clips of what happened prior to them hiding in this bunker, right? So the bunker has got this like almost like one of those doors in a ship where you turn that big wheel to lock it, and it's hidden. And then they have this hole where they stick up, I forget what they call it, but so they can see what's going on up there. And you can see they're in like a school area, playground area, but everything's like destroyed and burnt up. So you don't know like what is going on, and they call them the breathers. So all we know is something up there. They're scared to go up there for some reason, right? Because of the breathers. What the hell is the breathers, right? I'm telling you, the whole movie is very, very suspenseful. It will keep you going. So every once in a while they just show bits and clips of what happened before, but it's not showing enough to, I mean, it shows like when she's cooking, well, what happened was, and part of it, they're in the bunker and the table catches on fire, right? And the smoke starts going up. So they go back to the past where she was cooking one day and making bacon, and they were talking, and then all of a sudden the neighbors are hurried up and packing, and everybody's flying down the streets, and they're like, what the hell's going on? And they take off, and so they pack up and take off too. So but then they go back to it, so you don't know. All you know is this breather thing, and apparently they can't fit down that door, even if they were to break it. He's got the door chained up and everything. You gotta climb up this ladder, and he's got it all kinds of chained up. And then they have a problem where they have food down there, rations, so they're only eating so much of it, right? And they have a rat that comes, because they open a can of peaches and all the peaches are gone. So they notice that somebody's been stealing their food. So now they have to lower the rations to what they're already consuming and go lower. So when you're hiding in a bunker, and you only got so much food and you can't go outside because of whatever these breathers are, right? You gotta slim down to less, so that can cause a fight fusion, right? So the mom starts getting a little upset, and they keep having these rules, don't, you gotta control your anger, don't get mad, never go to the top. There was just certain rules. There was like 5 of them, but that was coming to play at the end, especially the control your anger. So I'm gonna go off here a little bit and tell you this movie reminded me of. So this might, if you're watching it, this movie reminded me of The Others. So if you haven't seen The Others, that was another good movie, very long movie. But this movie, when it came to the end of it, reminded me of The Others, right? Because now let's keep going before we get into it, because the smoke rises. They had that rule, you can't go up top. The smoke rises and it goes to that hole where they're peeking to see what's going on up there. And they're like, great, the breathers are gonna catch us. The breathers are gonna catch us, and we gotta cover it. We gotta figure out a way to stop it. Well, he was like, no, nobody's gonna see the smoke. And then the mom's like, the wood burned into ashes, so the smoke's gonna go up there, and ashes are gonna go up there. So now there's gonna be ashes. So now the breathers can see them from farther away because of smoke, but now it's giving them a spot too, because they said that the breathers have searched there before, and like 3 or 4 times, and they never found them. But now they got that smoke and the ashes that are going to be laying on the ground up there, right? From going through that hole. It's a decent sized hole. It's big enough for a kid to fit through, and apparently a mom to fit through. We'll get to that to the end. So they go up there and tell the daughter, stay down here. So they go up there, start covering up the ashes. She goes and starts watching, and she sees something. She sees her parents, like, behind you, she's screaming, right? And they can't hear her. So what does she do? She breaks that rule. She runs the thing, runs upstairs. And she's screaming and running for him, and all of a sudden, they catch her, but deer come running through. And they're like, there's nothing to be scared of, it's just deer. And then the mom's like, no, they were running from something, right? They're scared, so it's got to be the breathers coming. So they hurry up. It's all this burnt crap, and looks like that whole school area has been destroyed. So he's got that door covered with other shit, so you can't tell there's a door there. They run back inside, and I'm already to the end because, like I said, this whole movie's suspenseful. And it's a very good job at being very suspenseful and going back to those clips. But they don't even show you exactly what happened until the end, right? And that's the best part, because all of a sudden you hear this boom, 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 boom over the. They're talking down there. This is one thing I didn't get though, is that they're talking down there and they're kind of being loud, and then that thing comes over them, right? The breather. And you don't know what it is, but all of a sudden her doll, she's got a doll that she talks to, because they've been up in there for 301 days. 301 days they've been in there. So that the doll has one of those strings, you pull it and it talks, right? It gets hooked on the screw on this pipe. So instead of them trying to grab it really quick, they're already making noise. The thing was right on top of that door, and they were right underneath it. The screw just happens to break loose, right? So the string goes in, and all of a sudden this doll, it's broke. The noise starts going nuts. The little noise box inside just starts screaming and running and going off and off and off and off. And the dad hurries up, grabs the doll, rips the doll open, pulls the speaker out of it, smashes the speaker on the ground. Then the thing starts going nuts, grabbing the door, trying to break it, couldn't get it. So you hear him walking over, right? So they're following him underneath in the bunker. And then all of a sudden you hear a bunch more of them. They're like, at first they said they usually travel in packs. Why is he alone? And then when he was going nuts at the door. Actually, what happened? He was going nuts at the door, and they ran up there. The mom ran up there trying to hold the door, and then the dad broke this piece of pipe, and it's kind of hard to see what actually happened up there, because all of a sudden it looks like they can sit up there, which is weird. Anyway, he gets the pipe in there. I don't know. He stabs the thing. The door opens, and all you see is like these gold eyes, right? It almost looked like wolf. So I thought it was like, I mean, you can't tell what it is because all you see is the gold eyes. Like, is this a wolf or what kind of alien creature is this, right? And it sounds huge. Apparently, they say it can't fit through the door. So they go over. I mean, we got to get to the end, right? Because there's little bits and clips that don't really show you anything. You know, I said it goes back, but it just keeps you so it's so suspenseful throughout the whole movie. So they go, why is he only traveling one? I don't know. Boom, 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 boom. You hear him crawling over, right? Now they're over here on this part of the bunker. All of a sudden you hear more. Boom, 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 right? So here comes more. They start beating on the door. Boom, boom, boom. And they had this thing called, what did they say? The hold. It's holding good or holding steady, whatever. Up there talking about the door, making sure it was locked and tight and sealed, right? Because they were hiding in this school playground. So all of a sudden there's more of them. Here they come, right? Boom, 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 boom. You hear them? They're at the door. And then it's not gonna hold. It's not gonna hold. They break the door. The door comes crashing down. And they're like, run! And me and the fiance are like, where are you running to? You're in a bunker. And so they just start running in this bunker. And here they come, coming down the door. And they have this little sheet that kind of separates the room. They go and they caught the sheet on fire, hold them back. And then they put all the rations around like this garage shelving type thing, right? And they push this garage shelving up against it, hold them out. And then the daughter's like, they said this early in the movie, when the rat broke in, that that's not the only way in, right? So they were talking about that hole where they were peeking through. And the daughter's like, that's not the only way out. Talking about the hole. So they all go. So these things are coming down, right? And they're like, all right. So they grab mom scoots through the little hole. And then they grab the daughter scoots through the hole. And then dad's trying to scoop through the hole. Well, the hole's not big enough for dad, right? So dad goes back down. He pops his shoulder out of place so that he can fit through the hole. And one of the mom and dad's main rule was, it don't matter what happens as long as she's protected, right? The daughter. As long as she's good, we'll sacrifice. One of us sacrifice their life, whatever happens. Dad pops his shoulder out of place, coming through. All you see at that fire are these bunch of yellow eyes. So now you got a bunch of them, which they're like, what the fuck is going on? And Dad climbs through, and he's getting through, and they're pulling him. And those things break through. They grab him, pull him back down. He's like, remember that rule? We'll sacrifice as long as our daughter lives. So they pull him back down. And all you hear is, you don't see nothing. We still have no idea what these things are, what the fuck is going on. Nothing. So now you're up, like, right? What the fuck is going on? They're in this playground, and the daughter goes nuts because the dad was always there to calm her down. Like, she was closer with her dad, right? He played this little game where he closed her eyes, put his fingers over her eyes, and because they've been in this bunker for 301 days, he would close her eyes, put his fingers over her eyes, and try to help her imagine being somewhere else, like having ice cream or wherever. So she was attached to her dad in that reason, where the mom was she was still attached to mom, but the mom called her Zozo, and she didn't like it. She was tired of being treated like a little kid, and the dad didn't treat her like a little kid, so she wanted to be called Zoe, her name. So her and her mom feuded a lot while they were in the bunker. And then she gets out, I hate you, it's your fault, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. You know, and mom calms her down. And we're like, run, what are you doing, run, we don't got time for this, run, you're up there now, right? And we don't know what's coming, but there's probably more up there, right? So they start running, they finally run, and they're like, where are we at? Well, we're back where it all started, right? So then it takes you, okay, now, you see these quarantine signs, right? Thinking, quarantine. So, it takes you back, well, actually, what happens is a helicopter comes flying over, right? We don't know, you can't tell it's some kind of aircraft, right? Some kind of UFO. Comes, shoots this net, captures them. There's like heavy balls all the way around it, you know, or not. So bam, caught the mom and daughter. So it takes you back to when they were driving, right? All of a sudden they're driving and everybody's turning around, coming back the other way, come back the other way. They go to this, the end of the city line, right? And they have all these signs, the army's there, everything. And they won't let anybody through. It says quarantine. So everybody was turning around. All of a sudden, this big boulder, because they're on the side of this mountain, right? The road's on like this mountain. The big boulder comes, crashes down on the hood of the truck. Doesn't like crush the truck, it just dents the hood. And then he's looking at the mountain. This might have been a previous one, and then it goes back into this one. But anyway, they're all looking at the mountain now, like, what the fuck? The whole mountain is gonna come crashing down, or what? And the daughter's like, "There's an earthquake, Mom," and she's like, "We don't have earthquakes here. It's not an earthquake." So you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" All of a sudden, these two jets fly in. Now, mind you, they already told everybody to return back to your homes, right? These two jets come flying over. And they blow this whole city up. Blow it up. And all of a sudden the jets go and turn around and come back. And so everybody takes off running. Well, the mom sees the water tower and she's like, there's a bunker at the school. So all three of them, you know, them three, the mom, dad, and the daughter, run up the mountain to the side of the mountain. And the jets come, blow up everything where all that whole quarantine was. Which kind of makes you think, how was that all really there at the end? But anyway, they run to that bunker, and that's where it started. They get in the bunker, hide. So, what the fuck is going on, right? All of a sudden, you know, I told you they got caught in the net, so now we're going back. They're caught in the net. The guys with the yellow eyes, or the mystery breathers with the yellow eyes, got USA patches on. So test them. See if they're infected. Come back, they are infected. He's like, it's a shame I got a daughter your age. They all just, you know, start pointing their guns at them, surrounding them, getting ready to kill the mom and daughter. They're like, what the fuck? Out of nowhere, Dad, who we thought got fucked up in the bunker when he couldn't get out, had a broken arm, he comes swooping through, bam, grabs him. Mom is like, and goes nuts. Her whole face starts turning black, her eyes turn black, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? Right? What the fuck is going on? Dad comes swooping in, just tearing people apart. And then they shoot him down. So they get him, he's knocked out. All of a sudden they look back at the net. Mom and daughter are gone, they're hiding. Daughter hides in a car. Mom comes swooping in and starts attacking everybody, and then they shoot her, get her down, but now there's like one left. And then daughter stays zombified. So you're like, what the fuck, right? This whole time we thought the breathers were the bad guys, or were these aliens, or we didn't know what the fuck they are. Come to find out, they're just military. That's it. And the real threat was the mom, the dad, and the daughter that you've been watching this whole storyline. Like, you thought they were like these people who were hiding when they were infected by those viruses, which is why they blew up the city, because it basically zombified them. But it was the rule, control it, because apparently you can control it. So the mom is like, control it, control it. You know, daughter goes and attacks the mom. She's control it. She calms her down. And then they just like let that last dude die. Or let him live with that virus because he tried to kill us. So, they run to dad, back to dad, you know, have that last little thing with dad, the daughter does. Mom says her goodbye and then watches the daughter say goodbye to the dad. So it takes you back to when they first went into that cellar. They run and run and run, and they find the cellar. They go into the cellar, the bunker. Mom cuts her arm open, cuts her hand open, and the dad's on his knees looking at his daughter like this is day one of being in the bunker. They do another backstory there. He looks at his daughter. No, something's wrong. They made a mistake. You know, it's not what it. Something's wrong. It's not what it is. And mom comes walking out of the dark, her hand bleeding, right, cut open, and she's like, they didn't make a mistake. The virus must have went airborne. And then all of a sudden you see her hand like turning black and like healing. So then, after, you know, everybody gets fucked up and dad dies and they say their goodbyes, mom and the daughter go running because another, obviously, helicopter, right? A Black Hawk or something comes flying in looking for them again. Because it's the U.S. military, so they're trying to eliminate all the threat. So they run into this thing, like a under bridge, like some kind of bridge area. And underneath that, and I hear the noise. Oh no, they're coming. The breathers are coming again. The breathers, obviously, military. But it wasn't. It was they were supposed to have a trip at the beginning with the neighbors. Well, the neighbor's kid, right? And he wanted to play Marco Polo when they went camping. So all of a sudden they hear, Marco. She says, Polo. And, you know, because she was in there 301 days with just her mom and dad talking about, we don't have friends. I don't have no friends, blah, blah, blah. And dad calms her down again. So now at the end, all of a sudden she hears Marco and she's Polo, and she finds her old friend. And then he takes her to where he's been hiding. They're like, where have you been? He opens the door, and there's like a whole fucking city down there. They're all, you know, infected. The whole city. Or you can't tell how many people. There's a bunch of people down there. So then they end up going down there. And then, so I thought it was a great movie. A very suspenseful movie. I could have lived without that last little ending part. I could have lived with they just, you know, run and hide, and then you don't know what happens next, right? More suspenseful. I guess in a way, now it becomes more suspenseful because now you got all these people who are infected. But what kind of, I mean, they were some badass zombies, I'm gonna tell you, when they turned, they were tearing shit up, like, but they can control it, so, which kind of made them seem a little bit more innocent, like, how are you just gonna kill a family just because they're infected, but they control this virus? So it kind of puts you on the fence on now which side are you on, right? Which reminds you of the movie Others. It just, boom, I was like, oh, that's like the Others, where you watch this fucking 4-hour movie, right? And then come to find out that the people who you think are running from like ghosts are actually the fucking ghosts the whole time. They're the ghosts. Somebody's people that they thought were haunting them were actually the people in the house trying to figure out who they are getting haunted, right? So this was kind of like the same thing. You're like watching this family the whole damn time, and you're like, who the fuck are the breathers? And they got yellow eyes, and they sound like it make them sound like they're fucking elephants, fucking or big ass bears or some shit. So yeah, it ends like that, where they go down that little another bunker apparently, where half the city's been living. But it was a great movie, so if you haven't seen it, I probably just ruined it for you, but if you can deal with some spoilers, I don't think you can deal with a spoiler like that, though. So hopefully you watch this before you watch my review. If not, go watch it, because it was a great movie, so. And if you don't know, well, now you know. Like, comment, sub up, man, come on. See you on the next one. Peace.